Hey everybody, in today's video, we're going to go over how I was able to turn $100 into over $500,000 in just under 2 years. And this is going to be a step-by-step guide and process of what to do. However, disclaimer, feel free to take my process and step-by-step and remix it into whatever it is you want to do. Because I'll be the first to admit, along this entrepreneurial journey, I did not do everything correctly, but this is just me gathering all the things that I would have done in this order / telling my story and my journey of how I got here. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we absolutely must address is your why. Why do you want to build your business? Why do you want to make passive income? Why do you want to be successful online? That why has to be really deep, and that has to be the source that powers you through everything, because things are going to go up and way back down and down some more and then go back up and down. And it's going to be a journey that looks so zigzag and so up and down like a roller coaster that your why has to be super solid. And so this, for me, back in the day, all started with a summer trip to Europe with my family back in summer of 2016. So it's been a while now. And what happened on that trip was I was still working for the government. I was a civil engineer at the time, and my family and I took this trip. And it was funny because I felt guilty taking this trip because I thought, well, I don't deserve to take this trip because I haven't worked enough years. It was just crazy, right? We went to Europe for 21 days. We went to like 3 different countries. We went to London, we went to a bunch of cities in Italy, and we also went to Greece. It was epic, it was amazing, but that is where my deep why started. I knew on that trip that I had to figure out how to make money and travel and see the world, because that trip sparked my curiosity. I'm like, why do Americans do the things they do? Because living in Europe, or the Europeans have such a different mindset and way of life, and it was super inspiring. And I definitely wanted to learn more and, most importantly, see more. So then once I got back from that trip was when I was kind of like stuck at work, and I'm like, man, what do I do now? Like, I have this good career, I have great benefits, I'm making a really great salary, but I'm like, I want to go see the world. Like, man, this is crazy. I don't know what to do. And so I was just like, I'll do anything to move overseas and even get a job overseas so I could I was like, I'll move to Pakistan. I don't even care. So, but it was kind of interesting because at that time I was so busy. I was working as a civil engineer. I was going and getting my master's part-time in construction engineering at Arizona State University. I was also intrigued by a colleague of mine who was who's getting his master's degree with me. I remember his name was Daniel. I don't know if he'll ever see this video, but he's the reason why I realized and found out or recognized that it was possible for me to be an entrepreneur. And I was like, whoa. He first introduced me, as a matter of fact, to network marketing, which is crazy because a lot of people are like, oh, like you started with network marketing? Well, kind of not really. I didn't do any network marketing. I didn't build the business that he had introduced me to, but instead I did all the personal development work that he wanted me to do. So I read all the books, and one of the most enlightening books was Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant, where he explains like the 4 types of people with his cash flow. It's like the E, the S, the B, and the I, which are on the right side, and just how like the employee, which is the E on the left side, is pretty much like the worst type of income you could earn because you're taxed so high and we're limited to a certain point when we're employed. And I was like, oh my gosh, and we're taxed so much to the fullest. I remember I was making like $80,000 a year, but only bringing home like $48,000. I'm like, what is going on? Because at the time I was single, I didn't have kids, and I just really got hit hard with taxes. So I was like, that book was like, it just opened my eyes. I was like, this is crazy. And so it's just, we're all taught to go this traditional way, including myself. and I would have stayed on that path if it weren't for the things that unfolded in my last year of getting my master's degree. So I just want to interrupt this video by saying I'd completely appreciate it if you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I have so many fire videos coming up for you in the near future, as a matter of fact, next week, and it helps support the channel greatly. And as a matter of fact, if you are interested in joining my email list and getting your hands on so many good and great freebies in your inbox this week, go ahead and download my Subscribers to Sales Blueprint, which teaches you all about creating a 6-figure YouTube channel minimum and the exact steps to get there and how you can create a profitable online business leveraging the platform you're watching right now, which is YouTube. All right, so the next step a lot of you guys are not going to like, and that is to fail. And you're just probably like, what is going on? Like, know your why. You want to fail, huh? And I mean it when I say failure is so essential to your journey, because failure is leading you to success. I'm still failing all the time. I mean, recently in our business, we had a launch of our program, and there were some things disconnected, and things weren't going right. There were some single point failures in the operation, and I'm like, oh, there was a point where I had lost money on an investment. And this is this year, right? Well into my business. And so there's always going to be points in your journey, especially in the beginning, there's going to be quite a bit where you fail. And so just a recap of my failures when I first started when I took the leap of faith and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I failed a lot, and I was like, oh, this sucks. But I failed with 2 different businesses, like my e-com business. I wouldn't call it a failure. I would just call it not profitable. It was a learning experience. It was something that I was really good at. However, I had nothing to show for it because I spent so much money on advertising, coaching, mentors that I was just in the red. Like I was just completely in the red. So that was a failure, but I learned a ton. I learned a lot of skills. The second time was when my ex-boyfriend at the time, we tried so many different things. I mean, we tried creating an ads agency to run ads for clients. We tried creating all types of different programs and products. Nothing clicked. Nothing was working. And I was like, man, this really sucks. So it was like 1.5 years of that. But where I give myself credit is that I failed fast. I failed, recognized the mistakes. I'm like, let's try the next thing. Let's try the next thing. Until finally I was like, okay, I found that thing. And because I had developed so many skills from my failure, when that business finally started to click, I was like, oh, great. I was moving, I was taking action, and most importantly, I was profiting and making some money. Okay, so although I failed, I must say that I did a couple of things completely correct. And a lot of people they miss this part in the beginning, and that is in the beginning, setting up your business foundations correctly. So getting a business entity, getting an LLC. So many people ask me in the comments previously, you guys have asked, well, do I need an LLC? Do I need to, incorporate or, whatever it is? And my answer is yes. I am not a tax professional. I'm not an expert at business entities. However, if you are planning to start a business, make money online and profit from it, you have to, at some point, not be an individual doing it. Like, you can't use your social security number. You really have to create an EIN, which is an employee identification number. And for tax purposes, you really have to call yourself a business, because this is your intention, because it's all about the intention. Okay. So anyways, I, got a business entity, check. I got a business bank account, check. That's also really easy to get. I got a domain and a business email on Google Workspace, check. That was a big win. And I got a merchant account. And so for those of you, oh, by the way, check on merchant account. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a merchant account is, a merchant account is basically a credit card payment processor that allows you to collect payments online. So there's different ways you can collect payments. A very popular way a lot of people do right away is with PayPal. But the problem with PayPal is the fees are really, really high per transaction, and PayPal can shut you down. I mean, they could literally just shut you down, hold your money. This is more typical with what I was seeing and experiencing. Not me, this hasn't happened to me. They can freeze your money and hold your money, and the whole reason, they won't tell you why, right? So it's safer, in my opinion, to get a credit card merchant like Stripe or Authorize.net, or another credit card merchant that will allow you to collect credit card payments. So that way, whether you're doing e-commerce, affiliate marketing, selling your own courses, anything like that, you have a payment processor to collect credit cards. It is so important to be able to have this feature and to do this and to have that set up right from the beginning. Okay, so the very next thing that I did after the failures, after setting up the business foundations, I'm like, okay, the next thing I have to do really has to work, because financially I was not doing well at all. And I've told this story several times, so maybe I'll leave a video to the complete story of this, very rough part in the beginning. But the next essential thing that you have to do is traffic. You have to set up your traffic system. And for me, I'm like, okay, Facebook advertising is so expensive. It's something that's not, what's the word? Not safe. It's risky. It's risky. So I'm like, I'm just going to go hard. I'm going to go with organic. And obviously I chose YouTube as my traffic source, and it ended up working really well because YouTube is very powerful. It's the most powerful way to create free and organic traffic on any social media platform out there today. And so when I started, I just went for it. I started posting every single day for 60 days, almost 90 days. I think I was like at every other day. But those first 60 days, if I missed a day posting, I would double up the next day. So I just went hard. I was like, this has to work. And so what I did first was affiliate marketing, and I started to create affiliate marketing commissions for myself. And that was how I made my first proper dollar, and my first 6 figures online was with affiliate marketing with my YouTube channel. And so once you have a solid traffic system in place, you start building your audience and building a following that is interested in the content that you are teaching about, no matter what the niche, you are in good shape. And that, for me, that was the case as well, because the very next year, it was a stable year. I was like, oh my gosh, I could finally breathe. I could finally pay all my bills comfortably and start saving money and start paying off my major debt. So that very next year after I started my YouTube channel was great. There was several months where I hit the 5-figure mark and beyond, and things were going extremely well. And so I was even able to become a digital nomad. So I was able to make money while traveling the world and fulfill my dream. At the time, yeah, he was my boyfriend, fiance or boyfriend, one of the two. Now he's my husband. But my husband and I, back in 2019, we traveled everywhere. I mean, we went to 5 different countries, 12 different cities. We were never in the same place for more than 6 weeks. We were bouncing all around. This was, pre-pandemic days, obviously, but we were in Mexico, Dominican Republic. It was incredible. We went to Peru, we went to Guatemala, we went all over the place. And so this was like the dream. I was like, whoa, I made it. I'm living the dream. I'm a digital nomad, living the laptop lifestyle. Life is good. And so the point of that is, once you have your why, once you have your failures, then once you have your business foundations, and then once you have your traffic system, now comes the stability. And when I talked about stability and making like good money and being able to manage my finances and bills and all that stuff, then it becomes a matter of reinvesting back into the business. You have to be willing to reinvest back into the business, whether that's getting better softwares and tools and subscriptions, hiring graphic designers to make your brand better, hiring your first virtual assistant or your first team member. It could be a video editor, as I mentioned, a graphic designer, which is really, really helpful. Somebody to just help you do the tasks that you could no longer do if you want to level up. So by now, things should be going pretty well in the process. And for me, it was going pretty well. But there was one thing that was not sitting well with me. And that was my business model that I had started out with, which was affiliate marketing. My channel in the beginning, like the first year and a half, I was well known for like the guru affiliate marketer, because I had done so well being an affiliate for so many people's programs. But I got to a point where I'm like, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy just only promoting other people's products, because there was a lot of things that I appreciated about these products, and I loved how I could make money on autopilot and make commissions, and I had no fulfillment responsibilities with fulfilling the product, whether it was a service or whether it was the digital product. It was just, I was the connector for the buyer and the seller. That was it. Life was good. But it kind of wasn't, because there came a point where I'm like, I want to create my own product because if I didn't like one thing about a program or a product or whatever it was, there was nothing I could do about it because I was just the affiliate and I wasn't the creator of the business. I wasn't the business owner. So that got me thinking, like towards the end of 2019, I'm like, all right, I need to really make some changes. And I started transitioning from affiliate products to my own products. And I remember I launched my very first group program, which was like an 8-week coaching program where it was very one-on-one because it was a very small group. It was like a beta group. And I was like, okay, I wanted to see and make sure that people were interested and that I had a program that was proven, that had a repeatable process that was able to get people results, and that I could eventually turn into a course, which is exactly what I did. So it took a very long time, not super long, but it took a while to build out this course and this vision I had to transition from affiliate marketing to my own, and also just be able to create this program and create this curriculum that I designed on my own and that I truly believed in and that I was passionate about. And most importantly, you know, it was a way to create passive income as well, because it was not, you know, me going into one-on-one coaching or going back into e-com, which just destroyed me and required so much of my time. And so I was really excited about this. And so 2020 was a crazy year for all of us, but in 2020, I learned so much about business, and specifically right when the pandemic happened, March 8th, 2020, my channel, the one you're watching right now, was hacked and deleted, eliminated off the face of the YouTube earth. That was heart-shattering, very, very, very hard to go through. That's a long story. I could leave the full story down in the description below of what happened. It's like I made this complete documentary of the hacking and deletion of my channel. So I'll leave it in the description so you can check it out. But as I mentioned, there's going to be ups and downs and bumps in the road. And this was definitely one of them. It was a big dip. It was, I won't explain anymore. But long story short, I was able to bounce back and recuperate my channel, and I got my channel back. It took my channel a very long time to normalize and get back to where it was before the hacking. And then right away, I started to implement things in my business that I never would have, and I never would have learned if it wasn't for that incident. And so the rest of 2020 was a big learning experience. I did things like got my legal stuff in order. So I got all my legal contracts in place. I expanded my team because I realized I needed help in different areas of the business. I hired a bookkeeper and a CPA to keep track of my books and how much money was coming into the business and how much was going out. This was really great to see month by month because I finally had a clue of what I was spending my money on, my expenses and everything, how much subscriptions were costing me. So it was really a huge relief, especially come tax season, that I had, you know, my books in order and compliant, right, with the tax code and everything. So it was really great to implement a full-time bookkeeper. This is the year where I finally started to do brand deals and sponsorships. So this year was the year I started to create my own product. I launched my product, Subscribers to Sales, the course. Back then it was a course. Now it is a training program. It's a membership format. It's not a course anymore. And so when I launched, it was a complete success. Like for, you know, a small launch, having first launched the course out to the world and I got my first students, it was really, really cool. And so this was kind of the beginning of creating multiple income streams, which is really, really important to hitting the bigger numbers in business. If you want to hit multiple six figures, you have to have multiple income streams and not just one. And so at this point, I had affiliate marketing income streams, my course sales, Google AdSense, and also brand deals started to come into the mix. So I had an inbox full of companies wanting to work with me and sponsor videos. And I'm like, okay, let me just try it out. So 2020 was the first year where I started to create dedicated videos and video mentions for companies that paid me to do it. And I realized, in the beginning, I was super not value or undercharging for sure, and not knowing the value of my channel and my time and the resources and all the creativity that goes into making brand deals. But once I learned that the following year, I was like, oh, I can make how much, from a brand deal, and I can charge how much for this. I was charging a fourth or less of what I could have charged, from the beginning with a 100,000 subscriber channel. And so the other big thing that I want to say on this video that is important to creating over $500,000 is automation. So I've talked about automation in several videos, but sales funnels, making sure the foundation of sales funnels are in place, and that your autoresponders, email sequences, and follow-ups are super strong, because these are the things that are going to make you money passively while you sleep. And the other thing we incorporated was a webinar funnel or webinar sales video that sold my program automatically while I wasn't there. So this was something that was a game changer in revenue, and also just with freeing up my time so that I'm not having to sell online, get on the phone, do sales calls, none of that stuff. And I don't have to DM people randomly reaching out saying, hey, do you want to buy my program? No, it was all automated from the sales funnels. And so it was like the organic traffic from my channel were going to these funnels. That's how I was able to create the revenue, evaluate the data, improve the sales funnels, and make even more money from the improvement of all of these functions going on at one time. And so moving right along, I would say that the next step, which was not really a step that's expected, it just kind of comes along with where you are in your journey, but the next year was a year for me of reconstruction, because that year, I've never talked about this on my channel before, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm just going to say what's on my mind. I had a partner in the business who really wasn't a legal partner or anything like that. This person was very involved in the business, had a lot of different roles and responsibilities in the business, and wanted to be a partner with me in my business. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't really sure what that meant, but I'm like, I really value this person. Let's give it a try. So it turned out that this partnership, or this, whatever you want to call it, collaboration, went very south. And this was a huge learning lesson for me about partnerships, and just how you need to be able to follow your heart and follow your gut in business, because later on I realized that by being in a partnership with this person, it was very just energy sucking, and it was not allowing me to be the leader and the visionary of my business. And as a matter of fact, I kind of lost control of this business by allowing this person to step in and have so much control over what was going on, that I no longer was the leader or the boss. And so that was really difficult for me, because I felt like I had lost all my confidence. I would get on camera, I would create, content on TikTok and Instagram, and I would feel like such a fraud because of the way this person made me feel, because they made me feel like I was never on top of my game enough, like I was always not doing a good enough job, and it was really, really, really crazy. And so my advice would be extremely careful with partnerships if you're trying it out, or don't get involved in a partnership at all. It was just it kept me from stepping into my power and making the real amount of money that I wanted to make. And when I look back, I'm like, wow, I can't believe all of that happened. But hey, it's business, it's a learning experience. But I just wanted to share that, and one day I'll probably go deeper into that story, because it's important to share, and I learned so much from that experience. But at the end of the day, when the partner and I went our separate ways, I was crushed. I was devastated. I was like, oh my God. Because it got kind of ugly at the end. Like, there was just so many things like in the separation that we had to, make sure we were good to go in our separate ways. It was just a big headache. But at that point, I was like, wow, this person was very, very, very involved in my business, and there were a lot of things that I had to literally dig up and redo and start from the ground up. And so that's exactly what I did. Without this person being gone, I'm like, whoa, I have control of my business again, and I can start from scratch. I can rebuild my products the way I want to do it, rebuild my curriculum, and finally relaunch subscribers to sales the way I wanted to. I turned it went from a course, my main program, it went from a course. I redid the entire curriculum. I relaunched it as a membership. And right now I'm so pleased with the results because it's such a powerful program. Like, it's a brand new curriculum, and we have so much support in the Facebook group and in the community. We have a sales funnel building company, an online business tool company that sponsors the course and gives resources to the students and anyone who enrolls. We have an in-house editing team for the students who sign up for the yearly membership. And it's been incredible just kind of digging everything up and relaying the foundation of the business the way I see fit and the way I want to, and the way that I've always dreamed about having this business. Especially now that at the making of this video, I'm 9 months pregnant and I have a family and a son coming into this world. And so it was really important for me that I keep the business in mind and the business working around my lifestyle and not me working for the business, and not the other way around. Because at the end of the day, that's not really why we get into business. Or at least that's why I didn't. I wanted time freedom. I wanted to be able to travel the world and not work so hard. And so I've learned, I think now towards the end of this, you really have to prioritize where your time is going. So when you prioritize your time, you can be way more productive in a shorter amount of time. So I haven't been able to work 8-hour days because I physically can't, because I'm pregnant. And for you moms out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your energy is down. Your hormones are going crazy. Like, you have no energy like you used to before. Like, my body is not mine right now. And so I've been having to work in like 3 to 4 hour windows, and that's all I get. So I have to be super focused during that time. And it's taught me that I could be hyper productive during that time in order to, during the other time, conserve my energy, get ready to be a mother, get ready for the arrival of my child. And that's the story leading up to this point. All right, guys, thanks for staying with me till the end of this video. If you've liked this video, then I guarantee you'll enjoy this video coming up next, which is about going from broke to 1K days online and how to realistically do it. So let's click right here and I'll see you on this next video. What's up, guys? I'm Marissa, and in the past I've created 3 6-figure businesses, and the current business that I'm working on has generated multiple 6 figures within